Hi, I'm Tim with LFX, and today we're going to talk about administrative actions. When we talk about administrative actions, what we're talking about is things that we do with the gun before and after we shoot. So these are things you would do as you're getting ready for the day, after you've made a string of shots, before you go to the range, things like that. These are not actions that you would do in the middle of a firefight. So our first action is to check for clear. This is probably the most important one. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pinky of my offhand. I'm going to put it inside the mag well to ensure there's no magazine in there. Then I'm going to come over the top and I'm going to rack the slide 3 times. Next, I'm going to check the chamber by pulling back on the slide to look inside the chamber to make sure there's nothing in there. So I pull that back and I can visually inspect the chamber to see there's no round in there. An additional step is to take my hand, slide it forward, careful not to cover the muzzle, pull back slightly, and insert the index finger of your offhand to ensure there's no round in the chamber. That's how you check for clear. So our next administrative action is to load. So I'm going to take my magazine, rounds facing forward. I'm going to set it right in the palm of my hand. I'm going to use my index finger to touch that top round. So on occasion that round may slide forward slightly, and if I need to, I can push it back with an index finger. Then I'm going to take my firearm, still touch that top round to ensure that it's seated. I'm going to seat it into the firearm. Once it starts to go, as soon as it starts to go inside the mag well, I'm going to hit it hard. Next, I'm going to come over the top, rack the slide, and then next is the press check. This is really important, like if you're getting ready to go out for the day, just putting your gun on, putting it in the holster, you want to do a press check. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the magazine, touch the top round, reinsert the magazine. I'm going to pull back slightly on the slide until I can see brass. An additional step is to slide your hand forward, careful not to cover the muzzle, pull back slightly on the slide, touch that top round to ensure that it's chambered. So our next administrative action is to unload. This is after everything's done, you're putting your gun away. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the magazine out. If it still has rounds in it, I'm going to secure that into a pouch or pocket. If it's empty, I'm going to throw it on the ground. You do not keep empty magazines in your pocket. The last thing you want to do during a firefight is reach inside your pocket and grab an empty magazine. Next, I'm going to rack the slide 3 times to eject any live rounds that are in the chamber. And then I go back to step 1, check for clear. So pinky in the mag well, rack the slide 3 times, visually inspect the chamber. An additional step is to use the gun's slide lock to lock the slide to the rear. So there's a notch in the slide right here. It catches right here with a slide lock, so I'm going to pull back on the slide, push up with my thumb, and that locks the slide to the rear. So a lot of people ask about reloading. So a reload is not an administrative action. A reload is something you would do in the middle of a firefight. So we don't do press checks, we don't do anything else like that when we're reloading. Administrative actions are something that you can do while you're sitting at a bench or sitting at home. They're not things to be done during a fight.